Hello everyone. Today I want to tell you 7 meaningful life stories that you should listen to at least once in your lifetime. Sometimes we forget that every little event in our daily lives holds a certain significance for each person's journey. Let's read these 7 small but meaningful stories below, compiled as Your Life Channel to contemplate and reflect upon. First story. The Love Comb. One day, a wife with long hair told her husband, "Buy me a new comb to keep my hair tidy." The husband apologized and declined, saying he didn't have enough money to fix his broken wristwatch. The wife listened and said nothing more. The next day, the husband went to work and sold his wristwatch cheaply to buy a new comb for his wife. In the evening, he eagerly waited for his wife at home with the new comb in hand. However, he was astonished to see his wife appear with short hair. She had sold her hair to buy him a new wristwatch. Their tears were not shed in vain, but for the deep love they had for each other. Second story. A Good Deal for the Poor. There was a girl who asked an old man selling eggs, "How much is 1 egg, sir?" The old man replied, $1 for 2, dear." She responded, "Sell me 4 for $1, or else I won't buy any." The old man agreed and said, "All right, you can take them. It's a good start, as I might not sell much today." The girl took the eggs and proudly walked away, feeling like she had made a great deal. She then went to a fancy restaurant to meet her friends, and they ordered an extravagant meal. When the bill arrived, it totaled $420. Without hesitation, the girl gave the restaurant owner $500 and told him not to give her any change. Lesson: this story, although seemingly simple, carries a painful lesson for the old man selling eggs. Many of us tend to be generous with the wealthy, but forget to show kindness and empathy to those who are less fortunate. Third story. The Burnt Bread. When I was about 8 or 9 years old, I remember my mother occasionally baking burnt bread. One evening, after a long day of work, she made dinner for my father and me. She set out a few slices of burnt bread, not just slightly brown, but blackened. I sat there watching the slices of bread, wondering if anyone would notice the unusual condition of the bread and comment on it. My father, however, simply ate his slice and asked me about my homework and school as usual. I don't remember what I said to him that night, but I do remember hearing my mother apologize to him for burning the bread, and I'll never forget what my father said to her. "My dear, I love burnt bread." That night, I went over to my father, wished him a good night's sleep, and asked if he really liked burnt bread. He put his arm around me and said, "Your mother worked hard all day and is tired. A slice of burnt bread can't harm anyone. Do you know what truly hurts people? Harsh words, criticism, and bitterness." He continued, "I'm far from perfect in many things, like forgetting birthdays or anniversaries as some others do. Learning to accept others' mistakes and choosing to support their differences, that's the most important key to a healthy, mature, and lasting relationship, my dear. Life is too short to wake up with regrets and resentments. Love those who treat you right and have empathy for those who don't." The lesson here is about empathy and understanding others' weaknesses and limitations, especially in family, friendships, and relationships. Empathy is the key to nurturing a harmonious life. Fourth story. The Journey's Baggage. There was a monk who wanted to go on a distant journey for his studies. His teacher asked, "When are you leaving?" "I will leave next week," he replied. "On the long journey, I will need a pair of cloth shoes. After getting the shoes, I'll set off." he explained further. His teacher contemplated for a moment and said, "If that's the case, I will ask our fellow practitioners to donate shoes for you." It's unknown how many people the teacher had talked to, but on that day, several dozen people came, bringing shoes and filling a corner of the meditation room. The next morning, another devotee brought an umbrella to offer to the monk. When asked about it, the teacher explained that the monk might encounter heavy rain on his journey. However, that day wasn't just about one umbrella. By evening, the meditation room was filled with about 50 umbrellas of various types. When the evening class ended, the teacher entered the monk's meditation room and asked, "Do you have enough cloth shoes and umbrellas now?" "Yes, I do," the monk said, pointing at the pile of shoes and umbrellas that had accumulated like a small mountain in the corner of the room. "It's too much. I can't take all of this with me," he added. The teacher then continued, "On your journey, you will undoubtedly encounter many rivers and streams. Tomorrow, I will request our devotees to donate boats, and you should take them with you. When the time comes, you can use them." It was only then that the monk truly understood his teacher's intention. He knelt down and said, "I will leave right now and will not bring anything with me." Lesson: when undertaking any endeavor, it's not about how well prepared the external possessions are. It's about whether you have the determination. With determination and a clear goal, everything else becomes inconsequential. Take your heart with you on your journey. Regardless of how far your goals may seem, the path is right beneath your feet. Just keep walking, even one step at a time, and it signifies progress. By carrying your heart with you, everything else will naturally follow. Fifth story: The Man Who Threw Away His Shoes. The train was speeding along the highway when Yodi accidentally dropped one of his newly bought shoes out of the window. Everyone around him felt sorry for him. Surprisingly, he immediately threw his second shoe out the window as well. Tony's actions left everyone in astonishment. He then explained, "No matter how expensive this shoe might be to me, it's no longer useful. If someone can pick up the pair, perhaps they can make use of it." Lesson: things that are no longer beneficial to us can sometimes bring boundless happiness to others. Value what you have and share your happiness with others. Sixth story: The Value of a Stone. A student asked his teacher, "Teacher, what is the value of life?" The teacher handed a stone to the student and instructed, "Take this stone to the market, but do not sell it. Just pay attention to how much people are willing to offer for it." The student obeyed and took the stone to the market. People were puzzled as to why someone would want to buy such an ugly stone. After sitting there all day, a kind-hearted vendor approached and offered 1 coin for the stone. The student returned with the stone and sighed. No one wanted to buy this unattractive stone, but luckily one person offered 1 coin for it, teacher. The teacher smiled and said, "Very well. Tomorrow, take the stone to the jewelry shop and try to sell it to the owner. But remember, you must not sell it." The student was surprised when the jeweler offered 500 coins for the stone. Excited, he asked the teacher, "Why did this happen?" The teacher chuckled and replied, "Tomorrow, take it to the antique store, but under no circumstances should you sell it. Just inquire about its value." Following the teacher's instructions, after some examination, the antique store owner astonishingly offered the student his entire current wealth for the stone. The student remained adamant and rushed back to inform the teacher. It was then that the teacher calmly explained, "In reality, that stone is a precious gem worth an entire fortune. The value of life is just like that stone. Some people understand it, while others do not. For those who do not understand and cannot appreciate it, life is worthless. But for those who understand, it is a treasure beyond measure. Life remains the same. What makes the difference is your understanding and perspective on it. Seventh story, The End of Praise. A peasant and a scholar were traveling together in a boat on a river. The scholar, considering himself highly knowledgeable, proposed a word-guessing game to pass the time and even made a wager. If he lost, he would give the peasant 10 coins, but if the peasant lost, he would only lose 5 coins. The scholars thought it would be a way to showcase his intelligence and graciously allowed the peasant to begin. The peasant posed the riddle. What is a thing that weighs 1,000 pounds in the river, but only 10 pounds when taken ashore? The scholar pondered, unable to find the answer, and eventually surrendered 10 coins to the peasant. He then asked the peasant, "What's the answer?" The peasant replied, "I don't know either," and handed back 5 coins saying, "I'm embarrassed. I've earned 5 coins now." The scholar was left utterly astonished. The lesson today is no one is born perfect. The more you show contempt for others, the more you reveal your own ignorance. No one should boast of knowing too much, for there are countless things we have yet to learn. The more one tries to appear intelligent, the more they may suffer from their own intelligence. Like the peasant in the story, who, despite not having as much education as the scholar, knew how to calculate and earn a little. As for the scholar, he suffered not only financial loss but also the consequences of his arrogance. Do not look down upon others, as the outcome may be painful. Thank you for listening. The Your Life channel aims to share you more life lessons. So if you find today's audio helpful, please share it with those who might need it. Support us with a like, hit the subscribe button, and turn on the notification bell to catch our latest videos every week. If you have any emotions or thoughts, feel free to share them in the comments section below. Thank you, goodbye, and see you in our upcoming audios.